Today we're diving into three forces that are pretty much shaping our entire future: ethics, artificial intelligence, and security. And how they all intersect, well, that isn't just a tech issue, it's going to define the next decade of business and maybe society itself.
So let's kick things off with a question for you. What do you think is the single most expensive mistake a company can possibly make? Is it a terrible product launch? Maybe a billion-dollar merger that just goes completely wrong? Think about it for a second.
And the answer? Well, it might not be what you're expecting. You see, the costliest mistake isn't about the products you make, it's all about the culture you build. A broken ethical culture doesn't just cost you money, it can cost a company absolutely everything.
And this gets us right to our first big point. This isn't some soft topic we're talking about. In the world of security, ethics aren't just a dusty rulebook. They are a critical, must-have business function.
So, what do we even mean by security ethics? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a moral compass for security professionals. Yeah, it's about integrity, but the real currency here, the thing that matters most, is trust. Because without trust, security is just a locked door nobody has the key to.
And when that trust is shattered, wow, the fallout isn't just theoretical. The consequences are real, they are severe, and they hit a company's bottom line like an absolute shockwave.
This visual right here tells the whole story. Just look at this chart. Public trust is humming along just fine, and then, boom, the ethical failure happens. And trust just plummets. That massive drop isn't just a bad week of news. It's the kind of reputational damage that can haunt a company for years and years. It is a complete domino effect. The ethical breach knocks over customer trust, which then triggers massive financial losses and, of course, legal penalties. And meanwhile, inside the company, morale just collapses. It's basically an attack on the organization from every single angle you can imagine. So how do you protect against this? Well, you don't just write more rules. You have to build a culture that acts as your first and your best line of defense. And this kind of culture, it's built on four essential pillars. First, you need a crystal clear code of conduct that defines exactly what's expected. Second, leadership has to model that behavior. They have to walk the walk. Third, you need accountability to make sure there are real consequences. And finally, compliance programs to make the whole thing systematic. Together, these form the foundation. And this right here is the key takeaway. I love this quote. A strong ethical culture is like an organization's immune system. It's not just a shield. It's actively hunting for and neutralizing internal threats before they can cause catastrophic damage. But just as we're starting to figure out how to build this cultural immune system, a powerful, and I mean powerful, new variable enters the equation: artificial intelligence. And when it comes to security, AI is the ultimate double-edged sword. I mean, the promise is just incredible, right? AI can predict threats, it can spot malicious insiders, and automate surveillance with superhuman speed. But the peril, it is just as real. Take algorithmic bias, for instance. This isn't just a theory. If a security AI is trained on biased data, it might start falsely flagging completely innocent people, causing real-world harm. And on top of that, its use can just chew away at our privacy, often working like a black box with no real transparency into how it's making its decisions.
So when you're facing that kind of challenge, you can't just let the technology run wild. We desperately need a set of rules, a framework to guide how we use this powerful new tool.
And this brings us to the central question that pretty much every security leader is grappling with today. How do we harness all the amazing benefits of AI innovation without sacrificing the very things we're trying to protect: people's rights and their safety?
So a responsible AI framework, it has to be built on a solid foundation, just like you see here. Those foundational blocks are non-negotiable: upholding privacy rights, protecting civil liberties, making sure data is protected, and always balancing that shiny new innovation with sober responsibility.
So who's actually in charge of navigating all of this? I mean, it's a super complex landscape. Leadership is everything. And in the world of security, that leadership often comes down to two key roles.
Okay, so on one side, you've got the Chief Security Officer, the CSO. Think of them as the big picture person. They take a holistic view of all risk: physical, digital, people. They're asking, how do we protect all of the company's assets? Then you've got the Chief Information Security Officer, the CISO. They are laser focused on cyber risk, asking, how do we protect our data and our networks?
But here's the thing about today's world. A cyber attack can literally unlock a physical door, and a physical breach can lead to a massive data theft. So as these threats start to converge and overlap, these two roles are being forced to work closer than ever.
And that convergence is actually making security governance a whole lot stronger.
All of this, the culture, the tech, the leadership, it all brings us to one final, ultimate question for the future.
Our technology is getting smarter at a truly exponential rate. So, the real challenge, the one that's going to define the next century of security and, frankly, society, is this. How do we make sure our wisdom, our ethics, and our humanity actually keep pace? That's the question we all need to start answering.